Okay, so let's start again, right? We're gonna try another question. Okay, so this second time we can go a little bit faster now. Okay, so now you know what's gonna happen, right? So when you get a question, you look at what you want, what the question wants. Okay, so here the question states clearly it wants a cosine, right? It also wants a cosine with a less than 0, right? A is negative, which means there's a reflection over x-axis. So it wants you to get an equation of cosine with a reflection, okay? So your first thing is to draw out what the question wants, okay? So you want, let's draw that out on the side. Okay, it's a cosine graph, right? Cosine graph starts with 1, right? Starts up high and go down, go down, go up, go up. That's a cosine, right? But because the question wants reflection over up x-axis, you need to flip it. Okay, so this is not what the question wants. It wants it upside down. So make sure you have to pay attention to that detail too, okay? So this is what the question wants, okay? It's a cosine with a less than 0. Okay. All right, so please raise your hand if you finish the picture here. So we got this picture by reading the question, okay? It wants a cosine with a negative of a, negative value for a. All right, please raise your hand if you finish drawing. All right. Now on the graph, you can plot all the important points. It's the same graph, right? So you can see that with the same graph, they can ask you to find different equation. Okay, it's just depending on where you start differently, right? You start at different place. For the last question before the break, we start at the third point, right? 3 starts at the third point, 4, 5, right? To match the question. For this one, okay, again, let's number the point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So where should we start? So then it matches what we want. Okay, does anyone want to give it a guess? Where is the starting point?
Jason,
Yes.
is it 2?
2, because how do you know?
Because it matches like the one we want.
Okay, it started with the highest or lowest point.
Lowest.
Lowest, very good. Okay, so you look at what we want, right? Start from lowest and go up, go up. It has to go up twice, right? Go down, go down. So if I look at number 2, right? Go up, go up, go down, go down. So you can extend. Okay. So this section, I'm gonna use red, okay, to draw on top of it, right? So this red line is the part that matches our question. Okay, so we decided to start there. Now we need to get the new origin, right? So look at step one, right? We wrote step one is to draw the new x and y axis, find the new origin. So we draw the axis now. The x-axis is the midline, right? It's still the same place. This is the x-axis. The y-axis has to go through your starting point, right? Look at the graph that we want, right? The line goes through the middle, right? The y-axis has to pass through the starting point. So it has to be here. Oh no, okay, crashed. Too much drawing, okay? Give me 1 second, okay? Open it. Okay, all right, back to here. Everyone can see the screen, right? So your starting point is the second point. So we need to draw the y-axis through the second point. So this is the y-axis. So where the x and y-axis cross, that's your new origin. I'm gonna circle that, okay? I'll use a different color. Okay, this is the new origin. Okay, can you raise your hand if you understand how we get the new origin? Okay, so new origin and starting points different, right? If you look at this one, the previous question, your new origin and the starting point are the same place because for sine, the starting point is right on the midline. Okay, but for cosine, your starting point is either above the origin or below the origin. Okay, so make sure you make a note. Okay, this is your starting point, but then your origin is where the x and y axis crosses. Okay, we are more interested in the new origin. That tells us our CD, right? Okay, any questions? Can you raise your hand if you understand? Okay, Evan and Jocelyn, any questions? Okay, all right, so that's our new origin. Now we are ready to get the ABCD now, okay? So A should be the same because the graph is still the same one. So A is still 2. But because it's upside down, you need to put -2, right? Because they want A to be negative. The one that you want, the one the question wants is upside down, reflected over x-axis. Okay, so all you need to do is just add an extra negative sign. B is referring to the affecting the period, right? Still the same graph, so the B is still the same. Still power 6, same as before. Okay, and CD is our new origin. Okay, so you look at this place, right? The blue circle is right in between 0 and 2, so that should be 1, right? 1 and then go up 1, so it's at 1, 1. So that's your CD. And you're done, right? So if it's the same graph, you can get different equations. And then once you do the hard work for the first one, the other one you just little bit change, then you can get the other equation. Okay, so we have y equals to a. Remember this time is a cosine, so make sure you write cosine over 6 x minus c plus d. Okay, so that's the answer for question B. Okay, can you raise your hand when you finished? So for each graph, you could have 4 different equations. You can have the sign, whether reflection or not, so that's 2, right? Or you could have cosine with reflection or no reflection, that's another 2, okay? So I know some teacher, they just give you the graph, right, on the test. They give you one graph, ask you to write all 4 equations. So we're gonna practice that, okay? All right, Eric and Justin, any questions on these 2? Okay. So we're going to do that, right? On the next page, I give you a graph, and then we are going to find all 4 equations. So let's look at here, okay? So before you begin, right, you need to set it up, okay? So on the left side, let's divide it in half first. On the left side, we're gonna do the sine graph. Okay, on the right side, we're gonna do the cosine graph, cosine equation. Cosine. Okay, and then we have either the no reflection, right? A positive, cut in half. A negative. Same thing this side. A positive, A negative. Okay. So please set it up first. Okay, let me know when you're ready. You can raise your hand when you finish the setup. And when we choose the points, we choose the one that's closest to the y-axis, okay? Because you can start with you can start at any point, right? But since there are so many different places to choose from, answer key, they only use the one that's closest to y-axis. Okay, please raise your hand if you finish setting up. Okay, Marcus and Justin, you done? Draw the chart. Okay, Jocelyn, are you done? Okay, let's look at the numbers first. Okay, if you look at the y-axis, okay, because you have boxes here, you need to know how big is each box. Make sure you pay attention to that. So they only give you a 5. So if you count the box as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each box on the y is 1. Okay, go up by 1. Now for the x-axis is different, right? So you have a pi there, right? You have a 2 pi there. So you need to know how many boxes to go to pi. Okay, can you guys please count? How many boxes from 0 to pi, right? Between each pi. Okay, Caleb, have you counted? How many boxes are there from 0 to pi?
15.
15 from 0 to pi. Here is 0, right?
Oh, I mean, sorry,
Pi is
16.
here.
16.
It counts like this. This is 1 box, 2 box, okay, up to pi. How many box? How many units?
Oh, 8.
Yes, okay. So it takes 8 boxes to make a pi, right? So that means each one is pi over 8. Okay, you need to know the unit. Okay, pi over 8, 2 over 2, pi over 8, 2 pi over 8, 3 pi over 8, right? It goes up by pi over 8. So depending on the graph, right, you have to make sure you know the units, okay? The scale. So here to here. Okay, so now once you figure out how big is 1 box, right, you can start to do your step 1. Okay, let's start with sine graph. Okay, sine without the reflection. Okay, so we draw a little sketch. Sine without reflection looks like that. Okay, if it's sine with a reflection, it should be upside down. Okay, let's start with the one without reflection. So step 1, please draw the new x-axis and y-axis, okay? And then find the new origin. Okay, once you think you found that, please raise your hand. So now please draw the new x-axis and the new y-axis. So it matches our first question, okay, first part. Sine without reflection. Okay, please raise your hand if you have the x and y axis. and the new origin. Your starting point, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Your 5 points should look something like that. X-axis has to go through the middle 3 points. Y-axis has to go through the starting point. Okay, please raise your hand if you finish drawing. No one's got it so far? What about x-axis? Have you guys got the x-axis? Claire, do you have the x-axis?
Is it on like 2 on the Y?
Can you draw it on the screen for us?
Okay.
Okay, okay, very good. Okay, so I'm gonna use the green, okay? So it will be this one. You can make it extend, right, as long as you want, right? It just keeps on repeating. So that's our new x-axis, right? It goes through the middle between the highest and lowest. So now you can see that you have a lot of points to choose, right? To be your starting point, right? These are the points. Okay, so you want to choose the one that so that it matches what we want. So where should we draw the y-axis? Okay, if you got a y-axis on your paper, please raise your hand. The y-axis needs to go through the starting point, and then by the look of it, right, from the starting point, it has to go up, down, down, up. Okay, you have to start from midline, go up, go down, down, up. So where would you draw the axis, y-axis? If you got it, please raise your hand. Okay, those of you did not raise the hand, you have questions? Okay, Nick, can you try to draw on the screen as well? Where did you put the y-axis? Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, so that's the correct place. Very good. Okay, so you can see my green circles, right? From here, go up, go down, go down, go up. Right? Matches what we want. Okay, but that is not the only one. Okay, because I can start at different place. If I want, I can also start from here. Right? Or I can start from here. You have infinite number of places, okay? Depending on where you put it, your origin will be a different place. But since the answer key only shows one answer, right? You always choose the one that is closest to the original y-axis, okay? So we use the very first one, okay? We don't put the one that's too far away. We choose this one, y-axis. Okay, can you raise your hand if you understand why we got that place? Okay, y-axis and x-axis. So this section, right, matches the graph that we want to get. Okay, Chris and Jocelyn, do you have any questions? All right, so that's our CD, right? We can see that it takes 2 boxes to the right, so that's like power 2 power 8. Right, 2 boxes, and then go up by 2. But we can simplify that into power 4. Okay, if you can simplify, always simplify it. Okay, now please find the values for A and B. Okay, once you got A and B, please raise your hand. So this one is for A greater than 0. Okay, you can find the A by counting. Okay, or you can use the formula maximum minus minimum divide by 2. And then for B, you need to know the period. Okay, A is amplitude. How long is the amplitude? Okay, please raise your hand if you finish A and B. Is there anyone have questions how to get A and B? Let me know now. Okay, Lily, do you have the value for A?
Is A 2?
How do you know it's 2?
Because the maximum is 6 and then minus -2 and then divided by 4.
Divide by 2.
Oh, divided by 2.
Yeah, because amplitude is from highest. Let me draw it here. Highest to lowest, but we only want half of it. Right? From highest to lowest, it has 2 amplitude. So we cut in half. So what do you get?
4.
Yeah, it will be 4. Okay. So amplitude is talking about this part. Right? That's the amplitude or the bottom part. So it takes 2 amplitude to go from highest to lowest. Okay, so highest is at 6, lowest is at -2. So if you use formula, it'll give you 4. Or if you want to do counting, right? From the middle line goes up to the highest, it takes 4 boxes. Okay, then you can count as well. From the middle line to the lowest, also 4 boxes. Okay, Susan, any question about how to find B?
B?
Yeah, B. What's the value for B?
I'm not sure.
What was the formula to find B?
You find the period
Mm-hmm.
and you do 2 pi divided by the period.
That's right. Okay, so you look at the graph, right? Because we already found the starting point. This part, the red line, is our whole graph.
Mhm.
So from the starting to the finish, how long is the period? Period refers to this length. This length. This is the period.
8?
It takes 8 boxes, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, but each box is, how big is each box?
Pi over 3.
Pi
Pi over 8.
over 8. So if you have 8 boxes,
Pi.
it will be pi. Very good. Okay, so that's one way you can do that by counting the boxes. Or if you look at these, because it doesn't have to start from starting point, you can have periods start from the beginning to pi. That's also period, right? From lowest to lowest. Okay, let me draw it here. It'll be easier to see. Okay, erase that first. Okay, you can use the lowest point. For example, like this is the lowest point to lowest point. Right, that's also a period. That's one way. Or from highest to highest, that's also a period. Or from origin to the next origin, that's also a period. It's always the same length. So it doesn't matter where you start, right? That's period, that's also period. No matter where you start, the period is always pi. Okay, so let's erase that. Oh, okay. So we can, in this case, we use this one. Here to here. Okay, so if period is pi, Then how long, what's the value for b then? Susan?
2.
Yep, okay, so 2 pi divided by pi equal to 2. Okay, so that's it, we're done, right? So we write down the a, b, c, d. Write out the equation, y equal to a, b, c, d. We're finished. Okay, so this one is using without reflection of sign. So please do question the second one, okay, second part. This time we want the graph to start from midline, right? Midpoint, go down, go up, go up, go down. Okay, so think about where do you put the y-axis? Okay, and also write down the A, B, C, D. So did you figure this one out by yourself? Okay, please write out the equation and then raise your hands. Choose the y-axis so that it's closest, okay, to the original y-axis. The amplitude and period is still the same, okay, except your A should be negative when you write the equation out. Okay, so what do you think? Where do we choose the y-axis this time? Okay. Calum, where do you put it?
I put it on 6 pi over 8.
6 pi, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, put it here, right? This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there another choice so then it's closer to the original y-axis? That one is not wrong, okay, but there's a closer one.
Is it the one the -2 pi over 8?
Very good, very good. Okay, so we'll choose that one because on the answer key, they will always use the most, the closest one. Okay, so we'll choose the one on the left side. Okay, so for this, this is our starting point. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is for a less than 0 for sine. Okay, so our CD should be on the left side now. -2 power 8, so negative power 4. 2 is still the same. A is still the same, but should be negative because it's a reflection. Right? Because our graph is, instead of going up, it'll go down, go up, go up, go down. Right? We're looking at different section. You're starting at different place, but at the end, you still get the same graph. Right? They're just starting at different place. And then B is still the same. Okay. Please finish the equation and raise your hand. I already wrote down A, B, C, D. Okay. Write out the equation. This is a sine 2x. Okay. C is negative power 4. So if you put plus power 4 inside the bracket, right? Plus 2. Okay, so that's for sine. All right, please raise your hand if you are done. Still have cosine to complete. So for cosine, I'm gonna use a different color, okay? So we can move on to cosine. Cosine graph, first part without reflection. So without reflection, it starts from high, go down, down, up, up. Okay. Highest point, middle, lowest, middle, up. Okay, that's without reflection for cosine. So think about where do you put a y-axis now? And then with reflection, okay? With reflection, it will go upside down, right? From lowest, go up, go up, go down, go down. So same idea, okay? A and B are basically the same thing except positive, negative. So I'll let you complete cosine graph, both of them, okay? Raise your hand when you finish those two. Okay, Evan, did you hand in the homework yet? Okay, let me check. Homework 15, right? I still don't have it.
Oh, it's uploading right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I see it now. Okay. Too blurry. I can't read it. Okay, can you take a picture again? And I only see 4 questions. There's part A as well.
Yeah, it's on two pictures.
Oh, 2 pictures. Okay. Yeah, so for the part B is yeah, it's not clear. Okay, Philip, where would you draw the y-axis for cosine, no reflection?
Pi over 2.
Can you draw on the screen?
How do I do that?
Yeah.
Annotate? So
Yeah, where do you put the
can you
y-axis?
see it?
Where? I don't see it. Oh, there. Okay, yeah, I see it now. Okay, very good. Okay, that's the right place. I'll put it here. Okay, clear that. So this is for the cosine without reflection. So your new origin should be this one, okay? Not the starting point. Origin is between x-axis and y-axis where they cross. So that's at pi over 2, right? And 2. 4 pi over 8, okay? Same as pi over 2. Okay, please complete both of them and raise your hand. Okay, Evan, are you done uploading?
Almost.
Okay. All right, Chris, what's the value for A?
Is it the same thing?
What is it?
4?
4, yeah, no reflection will be 4. And B?
-4?
B will be -4.
Oh, I mean 2?
2, yeah. Okay, so B is all the same, right? For throughout, right? It's the A that changes sign. If reflection, you put a negative. So there we go. We got our equation. Okay, it's a 4 and it's cosine 2x minus pi over 2 plus 2. Okay, last one.
Jason, here you go.
Let me see. Give me 1 second. Yep. Okay. Much better. Okay. Good. 7 and 8. You didn't draw the graph.
Oh wait, let me do that real quick then.
Okay. You got the table, but no graph. Please use ruler. Okay, last one. Okay, Sophie, where do you put the y-axis for the last one? Cosine with reflection.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Where do you put it?
I put it at x equals 0.
So can you show it on the screen?
Sorry. Over here.
Oh, okay. So right on top of the original, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay, very good. Let me draw that. Okay. So your graph will start from lowest, go up, go up, go down, go down. So your origin should be here. You should use this color. Okay. A should be -4 now. Okay. B is still 2, no matter what. So Eric, where is CD this time?
Is C 0 and then pi also just 2? Or D also just 2?
C is 0. Yeah, okay. So it didn't move anywhere, right? D is 2. Okay. So if C is 0, you don't need to write x minus 0, right? So y equals to -4 cosine. And then B is 2. X minus 0 is just x. So you write 2x. So you put the bracket like this way. Okay, and then plus 2. So you don't need to write x minus 0. Okay. So in the homework, I will still give you some question that's going from equation to graph, and then some of the new things going backwards. Okay. But before I let you go, okay, I would like you to write down a summary. All right. Otherwise, it's difficult to remember what to do. Okay. So at the bottom, okay, you can write this down. Step 1 is to draw new x and y axis, and then find new origin. Okay, from graph. So they give you the graph somewhere, right, like that. And then you want to write an equation, okay? After you got the new origin, then A is the amplitude. Or you can use the formula. You can either count or use the formula. Okay, please copy into the summary box. Formula for B is 2 pi divided by the period. Okay, the period of the graph. And then CD is the new origin.
Jason, I resubmitted it.
Yeah, okay, I see it. Oh, the new one, right? Let me see. Okay, okay, good. Yeah, let's see you next time, okay? Okay, and then finally, you just write out the equation y equal to a sine b x minus c plus d, right? Or cosine, okay? Either sine or cosine. Okay, so when you finish copying, can you raise your hand? Oh, and one more thing, right? If a adding here, okay, for this part, a less than 0, reflection over x-axis, a greater than 0, no reflection. Okay, so once you finish copying, you can get off, okay? Then I'll see you next week. If you have questions, you can stay after, okay? So enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Jason.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Jason. Bye bye.
Bye.